Here we are at El Paso in the CJ3, lining up to take runway 4, and we're heading out north. Normally we're gonna head out south, but due to the winds, they're just vectoring us south. Otherwise, there's a different departure route that goes south and then west of the mountain range that's just due west of El Paso. So we're climbing up through the cloud layer that was overcast. And it's my favorite part of flying, is flying through thin, gentle clouds. Bumpy, hellacious clouds are not my friend, and I do not want to be in them. Nor should you. Unless you're properly trained, of course, and you're doing it into hurricanes. So this is us on our climb out. I believe this was a flight level 430 due to RVSM rules. And the nice part about being in a jet is that you get to go over the weather most of the time. And if not, you can always request deviations from ATC to go around a weather cell. We got a contrail from a previous flight ahead of us that you can see us approaching. Now, this is about an hour 0.9 of total in control flight time. And for us in jets, it's not like in a 172 or Cessna where the hob just starts running as soon as you turn on the engine. In jets, you really don't start counting engine time until your wheels off the ground in a kind of higher thrust level powers. So for us, time-wise, it's really from the moment I start the engines, I am intending to fly, the aircraft is gonna be under my flight control, and that's when flight time starts. So door to door, it's about hour 0.9 pre-flight. Post-flight, you're looking at about another hour, depending on how much memory you have and how little things you have to do this flight. So we've been waiting for the day before at El Paso for our clients to finish up, and weather prevented us from going home that evening, so we stayed an extra night for safety. No need to rush it, because obviously you see this beautiful day that we have here, because as we're approaching Mohawk and the descent from southwest of Phoenix, we were going to be sent through some thunderstorms in the middle of the night, and there were tons of storms throughout the day. We even got hit with some of that kind of monsoonal activity during the afternoon in El Paso the day before. So we played it safe. We didn't want to take giant risks. You can see some very thin stratus that we're going through. Not much to threaten the engines, but if it's thicker, probably right about now with this type of stuff, turning on engine heat is advisable so that you don't have ice crystals and get a flame out inside the jet engine. So we have those on right now, and you want to just be sure to not leave them on as you descend through that visible moisture and back into non-visible moisture air, so that you don't overheat and cook your engines when you get lower temps. Because up here, the temps are super frigid, kind of -45, -60, depending on the weather. And this is us just cruising, flying along. And so we're monitoring, talking to ATC, planning for our descent, looking at our approach charts, seeing what other traffic is around, taking photos, and then just repeating that over and over as we fly, checking on the passengers, making sure the temperature is comfortable for them in the back. And we are getting to the point where I believe they're starting to get ready to have us descend. And they're now vectoring us south, and I do believe that, or the GPS was having us turn right there, because there's a good bit of restricted area between San Diego, East County, Southern California, and Phoenix. So there's a lot of test sites through there. There's some corridors that they like to do routes through, and yeah, you can start seeing our nose pitch down. So we are descending and starting to do the beginning of the arrival. There's no official arrival, as far as I can recall, into Carlsbad. It's pretty much going to Thermal, then Julian. Sometimes they say that you're going to go to Oceanside, which doesn't really ever happen. You end up just requesting whatever approach, visual, SCON, off of the ILS, I believe, is SCON. I have to check my charts. They're not as ingrained in my brain yet as they could be. So you basically just give them a heads up through approach saying, hey, this is what we want. We do have ATIS, and when you're high enough, you can capture ATIS pretty far out. So it's worth it to check. That way you can just be prepared when you go to talk to SoCal or whoever your approach ATC is. So tons of farming. I believe this is south of the Salton Sea. And some of my favorite topography is around this part of Southern California. Just really cool landforms, especially at night or like, dusk period with sunset. You get some real cool contrast that happens with the land. I love these stratus layers. You got that high alto stratus, you have some lower stratus, got some little baby cumulus puffballs over there. And we have passengers. We had 6 people on board, and this is us coming into the East County Mountains of San Diego County and Imperial, whatever's due east of us. And we're just basically getting vectored. I believe there's an aircraft off to our right that they're keeping us a bit high for as we're descending. And we're coming in, getting under that shadow layer, get some cool light casting through the clouds. You can see those beams of light ahead. And so this is East County, San Diego, kind of Escondido, and we're on the approach. We're starting to approach Carlsbad, San Marcos, and here we go. We're coming in for 2-4. This was an RNAV. Now we're off autopilot. Boom, smooth, center line, and taxiing into Atlantic. Looking for where our ground crew is so that we can park in the right spot, make them happy with us, pull them right up, and there you go. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.